no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Today, I got a fun, exciting video for you guys. Today, we are going to be going over the Palia official gameplay first look. So, this just dropped. By the way, I'm recording it like an hour after the whole thing went live. I watched it live. It was fun. I was live while I was doing it, so it was such a blast. Had a lot of fun just watching it. It was so cool to see. Like, there's a lot of passion put into Palia. Like, I've said this time and time again, but like, this is brilliant. This is great. I'm glad this game is becoming more of a reality now, because like back when last year when I first heard about it, like I was still waiting on, like, you know, an update, and I hadn't even joined the Discord at that point until this year, because I don't know, I think like I started paying attention to it more, and I think there was like more alpha news coming out, and I don't know, but like, it's crazy that today is the first official gameplay like that anyone has ever seen, other than like testers like myself and any other testers. But then like next week on the 25th is the second stress test, which I might be getting an invite for, I don't know. But then there's also like after that, like the week after, August 2nd, you got the closed beta, which if you make an account, you have a chance to get into the closed beta, which, by the way, if you guys would like to create an account and you would like to play Palia, I will be leaving a link in the description and in the comment, the pinned comment. It's my referral link to create a Palian account. You'll get a fruit basket if you create your account through my link, and it's cool. You help me out. You get me a reward too, so it means a lot if you click that link below. But then also the week after that, the open beta starts, and then there is no end date for the beta. They have not set an end date. There is no end date. The game is out forever, as far as I know. that is all the info I have for you. But without further ado, we are going to get into this. Now, I'm not going to make this a super long video because the stream is an hour and 30 minutes, and I don't want you guys to sit through my rambling or just like the whole stream. So we are actually going to skip kind of ahead. We're going to skip to the important parts, because for like I would say the first half of the stream, I wasn't super ecstatic about what I was seeing, because again, I have tested the game. I have seen things that they had already shown off, and I'd rather go into what really got me hyped, like what really got me excited. So we're just gonna dive in. So just a heads up, the devs are going to be talking during this, so I will probably let them speak for themselves, and I'll give my thoughts on everything, because I have kind of like thoughts about what they've shown, and oh, dude, it's a lot. It's a lot. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's just dive on in.
Or you can ask other players for things. There's tons of different ways to play.
And I imagine that we have various quests that kind of walk us through familiarizing ourselves with these various skills.
Correct. We have a bunch of different
By the
NPCs.
way, I just want to point out the man with the hair bun and the cool socks and the flannel. He's my favorite of this entire crew. They're all wonderful people, but that guy he cool. He very cool. He very stylish. All right, let's continue.
These are like heads of our guild. So Einar's head of the fishing guild.
Nice.
Ani's head of the bug catching guild. And we have quests with those characters to help you learn those skills.
Perfect. So once we've gotten all our skill levels up, how do we go in and build the house of our dreams? Let's see.
Okay, so before they get into what they're going to talk about, we need to discuss this briefly. So at some point during this, the devs are going to talk about the housing. Now, I believe it could have been, it's either Aiden or Matthew, one of the devs, that referred to what this was. They called this a lot. A lot. Now, at some point, like when this game, like when the beta comes out, I want to make a similarity video to like how Palia compares to Free Realms or how it doesn't compare to Free Realms, because this is one thing that definitely compares to Free Realms, because Free Realms had lots and you could have as many lots as you want. Now, later in this video, they do state there are multiple lots. So you can have, they said more than 2, they didn't give an exact number, but you can have a ton of lots. So not just the one you're seeing here, because this is something you can just load into. It's like a private lot. And again, they also mentioned that you can set this to a private or public lot, meaning people can join your lot. Huge similarity to Free Realms. However, I will say the housing, like all the building and stuff, is so much better than Free Realms, but it is similar to how Free Realms building is, just looking at it. But it's so good, dude. This was where my head started spinning, because I was like, what is happening? you know? But yeah, let's keep going.
So you can see we've kind of fast forwarded in time again here a bit, and we've got a, reasonably progressed house, something aspirational,
Okay. So this is how the building system looks. So there is actually, like, they showed it off like a bit ago, and this was like some of the stuff that I like couldn't talk about, but now they're showing it publicly. The building system is super cool in Palia. It's very, like, I didn't get to experience a lot with it, but like it's neat, and seeing this blew my mind, right? There was a lot of moving parts here, and I don't think I'm going to fully understand it until I get into it myself. I am very excited for this whole building aspect, because I think they showed off, or they showed it off earlier, but the area around the house, those are like, that's like land you can buy, and you can expand your house. I don't know if it's just to this area, because I don't know. Because I think they've just been working on this one area, and that's all that was shown in this gameplay first look. Now, I'm hoping you can actually clear this out and build around it, because I want to build a lot. I don't want to just build around this one fenced area. I think that's kind of silly, but I'm hoping you can expand like all your building into whatever you want to do. But we'll see what happens. Let's keep going.
Definitely move beyond the tent phase here. And again, we're kind of jumping between those different housing customization views in order to, build things out just the way we want. In this case, the player is looking at the kind of attachment points between their buildings and the walls on the outside, which allow you to, if on the inside, do you want there to be no wall between the rooms? Do you want there to be a small door, like a double door? And this is something that you'll also unlock more options for over time. Same thing with the windows on the outside. You can go no windows all the way up to, really nice customized big things.
Okay, so this is something I want to point out, because there is a lot you can do with this than you could with Free Realms. And also, by the way, there is I didn't notice this when I first watched it. There's a farm over here, so I'm guessing you can clear this if you want to. For the purpose of the gameplay first look, they probably didn't. But the fact is, like, Free Realms had preset houses, so you weren't allowed to add on to the houses. I mean, you could use colored blocks and whatnot, but you really couldn't add on to it. In Palia, you can add on to the house. You can literally, you are an architect in this game. Like, it's overwhelming, because knowing what you can do, you could build so much onto this. I don't know how big of a house you can make. I'm planning on making a 5-star resort. I don't know about you guys, but that's my goal in Palia, is to build a 5-star resort. Anyway, let's continue.
Did we just put an addition on our house?
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's also one of the big things you're seeing. Again, mentioned that this is kind of an early game. You can have a mansion if that's where you want to take this experience to, add a bunch of additions to it. But yeah, as you add those, acquire new rooms within the city hall, you have to build those and go through some of the craft time associated with it. It's also a nice thing to have your friend come out and help you get through.
Now, when you mention craft time, is that in-game time? Is that real-world time? How does that work?
So for the buildings, once you've gotten the materials there is a real world craft time associated with it. Generally, there's a little bit of time associated with bigger things in the world.
All right, here's what I want to just discuss real quick, because this one, like, I nearly stressed out, because there is a game called Disney Dreamlight Valley, and so you usually, when you do something in that game, you have to wait like a day in real life for that thing to be done. Like, let's say you want to upgrade something, or you want to upgrade someone's thing in Dreamlight Valley, you have to wait like a full day in real life for that to be done. The same can be said for here. They've mentioned it throughout this entire thing that there is stuff that requires real life waiting time. Now, here's the difference between Dreamlight Valley in that sense and this game, because with Dreamlight Valley, if I upgrade something, like if I have to wait a full day, I have nothing else to do in Dreamlight Valley usually, because the game, one, it's single player, two, it's early access, which means there's not a lot to do anyway to begin with. But with Palia, it's different, because Palia is a social MMO, and you can do other things outside of, like, for 4 hours, you can go do other stuff. So I'm not too worried about this real life timer, except, like, I have to play the game to try it out and see, like, okay, is this wait time going to be way too long? But I think there will be plenty enough to do. Like, for 4 hours, I could go do something completely different and I could get two things done at once, basically. But without further ado, let's keep going.
Excellent. And I saw we just kind of added this whole addition to our home. But if you wanted to get really granular and do it, just by doing the walls yourself and really get in there and customize, that's an option too, correct?
Right, so you can kind of change the connections between them. You can also customize the wallpaper, the flooring, and of course decor, interior customization. That's something that is really rich in Palia. We have hundreds of items for you to find, and you can really put them throughout your house just the way you want to.
I wish that in real life you could add an addition to your house this quickly. It's
Oh
like
gosh.
4 hours, like that'd be great.
Just some wood.
Also, by the way, the dev team is just hilarious. They're just really funny. They're a great cast of people, I'd love to have a chat with them someday. I'm just saying, like, they are a great bunch. Truly.
Yeah.
And some stone. Man, I'll do that any day.
Yeah, it took me months to convert my garage, so.
Wood and stone in 4 hours. Perfect. I agree. That would be lovely.
Okay.
All right. It looks like Maddie is going.
Dude, this house, we need to talk about this, because there is so much. There was a lot. Let's keep going.
Inside so we can see some of these interiors.
Look
that you
at
were
this,
talking about,
dude.
and some of these interior options. Which interior options?
Hold on. Look at this house, bro. You never saw anything like this in Free Realms. I'm just saying, dude. Look at it. Look at it with your eyes. This is insane. Dude, this is when I started losing my mind, because I didn't get to see any of this when I tested, right? This is crazy. They're showing off stuff that, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe some people got to experience it. I didn't, right? But, like, still, this is insane. It's crazy. This is some wild stuff, The one thing I did point out, and it's not showing in the video, but the windows are like tinted or something like that. They're like I don't know if you've ever been to a church and you see those like stained glass windows. I think that's what they're called. That's kind of what the windows are like here, because there's like a kind of blurry, foggy view through the windows when you're like looking out, like right here, which is super cool. But dude, I'm genuinely impressed by the housing system, because I didn't know how like complex it was gonna be. Like, seeing the first trailer and seeing the housing, I was like, this looks insane. This looks crazy. And then they're showing it in depth. It's like, it's wild to me, man. Let's keep going.
Are we looking at right now? Can you kind of walk us through some of the things that we're seeing in Olivia?
So this player is pretty advanced, pretty far into the game.
So right there, they say like pretty far. This is like, it's gonna take you a while to build a house like this. I don't know how. Like, I can sit here and play MMOs like all day. Like, that's my stuff. I don't mind. Like, if that's pretty far into the game, I'll get there within 4 hours, guarantee you.
So they have some of our like more chase furniture items. Ambriel, maybe you could talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Over time, you can, like Aiden mentioned, collect hundreds of different decor and furniture items. So yeah, this player has gotten some pretty rare stuff.
Okay.
So they're probably investing a lot in this crafting.
I don't know if they're going to show it all.
To make some pretty high tier recipes, and maybe spending a little time at the underground market picking up some.
They're probably not going to show it, but I just want to say, like, when she said there was a lot of furniture. There's almost too much. I don't want to say too much, but like there was a ton. They've put so much work into this game, and it's crazy that this game comes out in 2 weeks, two to 3 weeks. This game's out. Basically, it's in beta, but it's out. That we are living in a wild time right now, dude. We haven't played. I said this. Maybe I didn't say it on video, but I said it in the Palia Discord. We haven't played a social MMO like this since Free Realms. It's been nearly a decade. Isn't that wild? Nearly a decade. We haven't played a game like this in that long. I don't count anything that's been out because, dude, there has been nothing like Free Realms. There has been nothing. I tell you, nothing except this masterpiece, dude. It blows my mind that a company wanted to make a game like this again. You know, it's mind blowing, man. Let's keep going.
Super rare stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into the underground in a bit, but magic is a bit taboo in this world. So if you want magic items or you want some kind of,
look at that, dude.
Look at that.
This is a long scroll, dude. There is so much in this game. I'm gonna make probably gonna stream this game too much. I'm probably gonna make too many videos on this. Oh my god, dude. I feel like this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. Not Free Realm Sunrise. Granted, it'll probably release, but like, dude, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the next iteration. I literally said that in my video about should Free Realm Sunrise even release, because, dude, look at it. Look at it with your eyes. Use your brand, bro. Look at this. The whole live stream, I was mind blown. This game is gonna be so good when it comes out. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna keep playing the video.
We have a cool underground market.
Oh, I love that whole thing exists in this world. Like you said, we'll have to get more into that a little later. But I also love that Maddie is able to craft furniture items, it looks like right now. And that's a skill in and of itself. So it's not just a currency-based type of thing to get furniture. You gather the resources or trade for them, and then you craft your own furniture. That's really cool. So what is Maddie making right now?
So the Choppa is one of been the most popular characters as we've been developing the game, and so of course there are a ton of Choppa themed items, wallpapers.
There's something like to be said about this. So you can make Choppa themed items. Everyone's favorite animal is the Choppa. However, you can hunt them. I'm calling PETA, dude. Why? What did the Choppa do to you guys? Okay, like, we love it, and yet you're just like, so you guys can just shoot it with a bow and arrow, it's nothing big. Come on, dude. If I have to kill a Choppa to make a certain furniture item, I'm not doing it. I'm against it. I'll probably buy. Like, if someone has the item, trade me the item, because I'm not killing a Choppa for it, dude. All right.
There's all sorts of things that you can find in that theme, and of course, then you can use those to customize your house just the way that you want.
How beautiful! And again,
also,
look at these placement options.
It's not a huge thing, or it's not a big deal. But this gameplay, I figured it out during the stream when it was live. This is pre-recorded gameplay. Them talking, that's live. So it's technically a live stream. Like they are live. The gameplay is pre-recorded. Just wanted to let you guys know in case you were like curious. It's like if they're off a little bit by how they're calling out stuff. Like it is live for them.
So Olivia, kind of walk us through, once you've created something, what is the process to then place it in the world?
It's pretty straightforward. You can either have the in-world
Look at
view,
this, dude.
like what you're seeing now, where you just click on the item and you can move it
losing my
along
mind, dude.
to select on the grid, or you can actually place anything
This
in
is so
that
good.
top-down view, which sometimes like a really big piece like the gazebo, I kind of prefer to do in the top-down view.
Totally.
Very cool. And this house looks so beautiful. I feel like,
Yeah, so
Maddie, yes.
this is actually a really good point of view for me to reference. This does look like a stained glass window without like the whole stained glass art, but it's got like a watery effect to the window. I think that's super cool, dude, because like I think with Free Realms, if I remember correctly, Free Realms had windows in houses, but like there was no glass. Like it was like see-through windows. I don't maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but I think I'm remembering it right. Just the fact that they put glass in here, it's like watered down, it's stained, it just looks sick. I love it.
Is making this house gorgeous for herself, but also maybe wants to have friends over and entertain. How does that work, as far as if you wanted friends to come over your house, or maybe there are friends that you don't want to come over your house?
So permissions are a huge deal. If you remember that top-down view, there's a pull-down menu at the top there where you can set permissions on a per-player basis. And so by default, you know,
yeah, so they're talking about this right now, the thing I mentioned. Everything is kind of like you can set your whole lot to private or you can make it public, which is super cool, and I think that's how Free Realms did it too. Like usually you can make it invite only or people can just join you randomly. But it's super sick. Like when I heard about players can join your lots, I thought that was super reminiscent of Free Realms. Like there again, I'm gonna make a video like that on the similarities and differences between Free Realms and Palia because there are so many. There's a lot, and we just got to cover it all.
Visitor just has a small number of activities that they can do with you on the plot, but you can upgrade them to editor status, which allows them to do things like move things around in your space, so that you can really...
Okay, so that's new. So I don't know how Free Realms worked with if you could actually give people the opportunity to edit your plot. Your lot or whatever. But if that wasn't a thing in Free Realms, it is now going to be one in Palia, because I think that's super cool, because then like you don't have to do everything by yourself. You can entrust someone to help you build your lot. Another thing they do mention, I think, coming up is that no one can actually destroy your house. Like they've designed this game to be cozy, so like the whole idea is no destruction. Like there is no violence in this game besides the hunting thing, but like that's about it. There is no violence. It's completely cozy. All right, but still, like the editing feature, I think that's super cool. I think I missed that during the live stream. I didn't hear that like players could actually edit too, but that's cool.
Really kind of share in this customization and home experience together. It's also one other really important part here is, you know, while you might spend a ton of time making this particular housing plot just perfect, you might have other people that maybe you have a totally different vision, a totally different fantasy that you want to chase together. And so we actually have the option where you can have multiple housing plots and set different permissions for other players on each of them. So
okay, so this is where they mentioned like the whole there's multiple plots, so or lots or whatever, and I think he says lots or plots or whatever, but regardless, the fact that like you can have multiple is crazy. That means you can build more than one. Now, I mean, when I tested, I only loaded into one. I didn't get to play that long, but like the thing is, this is crazy, and the fact that you can have multiple is something I want to explore later. Obviously during the beta, because I think even the stress test next week, that's under NDA. I don't know like what I'm gonna be, if I'm gonna have time to do anything, because like I only got to play like an hour, so I don't know. But anyway, let's keep going.
A lot of control for the kind of like social access and experience that you're having with other players in the game.
I love that. And so there's no like
the
PvP
building is
where
just
someone could come destroy
insane,
my home
dude.
after I've crafted it just the way I want to.
And they're going to talk about this.
No, you know, you're giving somebody, if you give somebody editor status, they can move things around. So
Sure.
it is something, you know, you want to give to somebody that you trust and you want to have, you know, that kind of shared experience with. But there's no way that they can come in and destroy items of yours.
So
there's not a lot.
they can move stuff around, but they can't destroy anything. But I don't. The thing is, with if I have lots, I'm not gonna let anyone have editor status, no matter how well I know them, or if I know them really well, or if we're friends. No, you can visit. You're allowed to visit. You're not allowed to do anything on my lot, my dude. I'm not giving you permission. But let's keep going.
A lot of destruction happening in Palia.
Okay, great. We're keeping it cozy and
Absolutely.
friendly.
Cozy
vibes going throughout everywhere.
Okay, perfect. Getting this hanging plant exactly where Maddie wants it here so that the entryway looks
I'm gonna have
perfect.
so much
I am
fun
here for it. Now, you had mentioned
building a
having
house, dude.
multiple plots.
I'll be here for a month.
Is there a limit to that at this moment?
It's definitely more than 2.
So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really cool.
So-
So you can really
So they've said more than 2, which means like, if I had to guess how many they're gonna be, I would say 5 or 10. I don't know. It depends on how much the game can actually handle, because I'm pretty sure this is an indie team, so I don't know how much they can actually do. But I'm looking forward to like how much you can actually do in Palia and what limits you can go to. This is gonna be a fun game, man. I can't wait to play it.
have that communal aspect with friends
Absolutely.
and make your
Absolutely.
own little town plots, if you will, of sorts. That's
I like
very
that.
cool.
Town of plots.
Town of plots. There it is. I also, in games like this, really enjoy gardening, and I think a lot of folks watching can probably relate to that. So what do we have in terms of gardening? Olivia, walk us through.
I'm gonna let this play for a bit.
You're placing another gardening plot, and then you get the hoe that allows you to till. I like how therapeutic this feels. It's very tactile. After that, you can plant your seeds. Maddie has a good variety of seeds. She's got tomatoes, she's got onions, she's got carrots. And a cool thing about if you rotate your crops like that is you actually can get buffs from the tomatoes being next to the carrots. So if you're a min-maxer, you can do that. Or if you just like the look of one particular crop, you can do that. There's a lot of freedom in our gardening system, which I really like.
All right, I want to hear more about min-maxing the garden. When it comes to, are these things we have to self-discover in the game, or do we get clues throughout Palia about where to position your crops to get these bonuses?
I think Maxwell might do a good job of answering that.
Yeah, we try to make sure players are able to discover the.
So I'm just going to pause it right here because I do want to talk about gardening, because we all know that farming and sort of gardening was a thing in Free Realms. It came towards I think almost towards the end of Free Realms, close to the sunset, I believe, or a little before that. But the fact that they've put it in this game, and I knew it was a thing. I never experienced the job, or I think I saw it in a trailer. I saw that there was gardening. This is so good. This is it's a better version of it. I think it's more, if you could compare this version of gardening to Dreamlight Valley a little bit. But dude, it looks so good. Let's just keep going because it just looks phenomenal, and I think they've done a really good job with it.
This themselves and expose that information. It's not hidden to you, and so we see the examine key there. If you press again default G, you'll be able to see the buffs that are being shared, as well as if you look at the seeds in your inventory, it'll give you a little hint about what to expect if you plant it next to a different crop. So
okay, great. And I see the bars as we're planting seeds. I saw the bars above that. What is that showing us?
that's the watering. So here we go. Maddie's gonna get some water in her watering can.
This is really cool because what a lot of games do, I'm gonna use Dreamlight Valley as an example because it's a close comparison as well as Free Realms, but Free Realms, obviously, I think it had a watering system, and Dreamlight Valley does as well. The thing is, though, there's no it's funny. A lot of games have games that do farming and gardening and stuff like that have watering cans, and then there's no explanation for why you have an infinite amount of water. So it's just really funny, when games do that, and then you've got Palia here. It's no, you're gonna go fill up your watering can, you lazy. It's just funny to me, man. They're we know that you like your infinite watering cans, but we're gonna stop you right there, Chief. You're gonna go fill that up you're gonna fill that up like everyone else, all right? it's funny to me, man. It's a super cool system. I appreciate it because, like, I don't know, having infinite water to me seemed silly a lot, and I was always used to it. But like now that I'm seeing this, I'm starting to realize, like, wow, I really was lazy. But super cool, man. Let's keep going.
And then hop on over and make sure that the plants are well watered and ready to grow.
Well taken care of. The seeds will not grow if the soil is not watered. This is perfect.
Look at that, dude.
So is this done one square at a time? Is there a way to kind of water multiple, or is that getting into spoiler territory and we shouldn't talk about that today?
I think we could talk about it. Yeah, starting out, you know, we're going to give you some simple tools to get you going, but as you engage in the various skills, eventually you'll be able to craft higher tier of each of the tools. And so, you know, you'll get a better watering
Which,
can
again, I'm going to pause here. Dreamlight Valley also let you do that. Like, it let you upgrade your tools over time. I don't think Free Realms had that feature. I know, like, you'd level up a bunch and you could get different types of, like for Miner, for example, you could get a bunch of different, like, you get a new tool every time. I think every 4 levels you could get a different level tool, but that didn't really do too much besides, like, if it was combat. But still, it's Dreamlight Valley definitely had that feature where, like, you do quests to upgrade your tools. I'm assuming that's the same here. If not, it'll be probably different, but still super cool system.
Cone to water crops and make it a little bit easier because you'll also get more soil plots, so you'll have a lot more plants to be taken care of at some point.
Level up.
Yep, level up.
Level it up. Now I see we're harvesting. When we harvest, do we have to start again from the seed phase? Do we get seeds as we harvest? How does that work, Aiden?
Yeah, it's definitely something that typically you'll start again, so you have to put seeds down. You can get seeds from a variety of sources in the game. Buying them at the store is kind of like the default basic. But we also have different kinds of seeds, like our tomato plants. You see, we just harvested those, and they're going to regrow again. So you actually don't have to go back to the starting phase until you've done several harvests on a tomato plant.
This is where the min-maxers have spent a lot of time trying to spreadsheet out their plots to figure out.
Yeah, okay, so if you guys don't know about min-maxing or what that term is, I'm going to kind of explain it here. From what I know about min-maxing is that in games like, I don't know if you can do it in Dreamlight Valley. I know in Animal Crossing, there was a way to, like, basically with the little blocks of soil here, you can grid out your whatever you're making, like whatever you're growing, and you grid it out basically, and some way, the way you grid things out with your gardening setup, you can make it so you can get more of what you're trying to get. So and that's also, like, they're going to show later in this video, but you're going to be able to, that little red chest that you guys see over here, this is a way to sell your stuff for what you don't need, or, like, for example, you can sell these carrots and you can sell them for money. So if you were to min-max, which min-max means basically just creating a grid to where you can get the most of what you're wanting to get, you could sell all those carrots and make bank. Literally, it's great, dude. It's fantastic. Now, you don't have to min-max. Me personally, I'm probably going to try and min-max because you're going to want to get the most out of what you're getting. Now, they are going to mention here in a bit, I think, that if you don't min-max, you're not getting punished. But the best way to get what you want is min-maxing. So, personally, I'd recommend doing it. But let's keep going.
Can maximize kind of their earnings over a period of time.
It was really cool in the alpha to see players making these grids of how they were min-maxing the various spaces and kind of sharing that information. There was like a whole template that got developed for people thinking about this. And of course, you know, this is a live service game, so it's going to continue to evolve. So expect us to shuffle up that meta from time to time.
So just in case you're wondering what a live service game is, a live service game is basically what Free Realms was. So with the whole microtransaction thing going on, but this game's free, so there won't be memberships or anything like that. But live service games means, like, they're free. Like, this one's free to play and it's got microtransactions in it, but that's fine. And live service also means, like, it's getting constant updates and it's constantly growing and evolving. That's usually what live service means, is that it's one of those it's like any game that constantly changes and constantly evolves. Like, it's not like a single player game where it just stops once you've beaten it. There's constantly more to do in the game. So it's almost like MMOs. MMOs have stopped being the term for a lot of games, and it's more so live service. But let's keep going.
How much you guys, saying y'all as Singularity 6,
Yeehaw.
really do listen to the community and take that player feedback.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to point out, because I didn't know if they were going to go to this or not. I knew they were going to. So again, this is where you can like, someone, I don't know how the system works, but if you put your, like I said, there's carrots in here, there's tomatoes, blueberries, apricots, oranges. I'm pretty sure that's apricots. But you put stuff in here, you'll get gold right here, for what you're selling, and you'll get it eventually. And that's the whole point of like min-maxing, is you want the most out of what you're going to get. So yeah, it's just it's a good, I think this is going to be the best way to get gold in Palia, I would say. I would just like start working on a garden, because you're going to want to do it. But anyway, let's keep going.
Get grids and stuff like that. When you see players sharing those kind of things in the alpha, do any of those things ever make it into the game?
Oh, absolutely. It would be hard to understate the impact of the alpha phase that we've been in. We've done multiple external playtests through that, gotten so much great feedback, ideas. It's something that we pay a ton of attention to. So I really just wanted to say for a moment, thank you for everyone who has playtested and helped improve Palia over time.
You're welcome, Matthew. By the way, I playtested it once. I broke it. I broke the game a lot. It was the stress test or whatever it was, but I only got to play an hour. I broke the game a lot. It was fun. Anyway, continuing on.
And for those of you who haven't gotten to be a part of it yet, we've just been developing this arm and getting adjusted to having players be part of the experience. And this is something that's going to continue as we go into the beta phase.
That's awesome. Thank you, everyone. Ambrielle, because we didn't get your input on gardening, is there a favorite crop that you like to grow the most?
Oh, I mean, we talked about how you don't have to replant tomatoes, and that's really nice. I think you've got to have a good variety to do a little bit of the min-maxing. It's fun because if you want your garden to be super aesthetic, you can plant whatever you want and you're not going to get any downsides. There's no harm in just planting all tomatoes if you think that looks beautiful. But yeah, mixing and matching them gives you some fun bonuses.
Perfect. So whether you're going for beauty or min-maxing or a little bit of both, you'll be all set. All right, we touched on some of the villagers that live in Kilima Village, and I'd love to do a bit of more of an in-depth look at those villagers if we could. So let's walk through some of the villagers that we will.
All right, so they're gonna get into the villagers now. This is something that I didn't really explore too much, because I didn't have a lot of time to do a whole lot. I tried to do as much as I could. Hopefully next week, maybe if I get invited, I'll be able to do more. But we'll see what happens. But they definitely go in depth on characters here, and I really appreciate it. Like Zeki is a space cat. This he's space cat. Meow.
We'll meet in Kilima Village. Olivia, describe who we're talking to right now.
This is Zeki. He is a Grimulkin. The Grimulkins are cats from outer space. They're like libertarian space pirates, and they run. In addition to the regular store, Zeki also runs the Kilima branch of the Grimulkin Underground, and that's where you can get cool magical items, maybe some more high-tech stuff, because remember they are from space. So if you want some technology that's not something that would usually be available in like a small village, you can get that from the underground as well. But he's like one of my favorite characters to write. I love his animations. I love his sense of humor.
And Olivia, as our lore expert here on the panel, can you tell us again why some items might be more underground than others?
So I think I mentioned earlier, magic in Palia is a bit taboo. They grew up in the shadows of this human civilization that crumbled, and they were, a highly magical civilization, and so they have.
So I want to mention something real quick because I don't know if she pointed out. I think she did. Apparently, that Zeki, what he sells, apparently apparently he runs a little black market. He runs a little dark. He's on the dark web. You know, he's selling some things that he shouldn't be selling. So you know what? I think it's pretty clever. You know, I think we'll all benefit from that. We'll all buy some magical items, and we're gonna cause some mayhem and some mischief in Palia. It's gonna be interesting. No, I'm just kidding. Cozy vibes only. Let's go.
Interpreted this as magic is dangerous.
Okay.
And so it's it's very regulated, and Zeki is against regulations, so whatever. It looks like we've gone to the city hall. This is Kenyatta. She's the daughter of the mayor, and she's kind of a rebellious teenager.
Okay.
She's been given.
So, one thing I want to mention here is, so there's a difference here between Free Realms and Palia, a huge difference. So they're going to explain it a little bit later, but Palia has basically like friendship levels and also relationship levels. So you can romance the NPCs. You heard me right. That is the difference between Palia and Free Realms. In Free Realms, there was NPCs, they had lore, you could do their quests, but you never really actually formed a bond with any NPC in Free Realms, as far as I know. And there was no system in that case where you had friendship levels. This game is more social than Free Realms ever was. I'm just going to point that out because this is crazy. You can romance NPCs in this game. That's bonkers to me, dude. I don't know about you, but like, could you ever... This is like the first game, I think, to do that in an MMO. I mean, maybe there's some MMOs that have like those type of storylines, but something like this hasn't been done yet. So I think this is different, dude. This is different, but they're going to deep dive into that in a bit. So let's keep going.
This job is a way to like learn responsibility, but she's like pretty bored. She does not want to be working here. But the player coming and talking to her is like a good break in her day. So she always is welcoming the players when they come by City Hall.
Now, is Kenyatta also a romanceable option? I have to ask. Her style is so cool.
She is, and she has a very fun romance plot. We were very excited to write her romance.
I love it. And you said she exists in the world as the mayor's daughter?
Yes. She is the daughter of the mayor, who's like this kind of bumbling politician character, and the magistrate, who's his more like strict, sort of like upper crust, like Victorian aristocracy wife.
She knows how to get things done.
You know, she's great. I love Eshe.
I love that. Well, Ambrielle, I'm going to pick your brain on Kenyatta's look in just a bit later on in the stream because her style is so cool. And now we're looking at Olivia, who I said you had said earlier might be one of your favorite characters. Yes?
Yeah. Einar is a Galder. Galders are.
They talk about the robots here. Well, I call them robots, but they're golems. These are kind of the golems I compared in my first video for Palia that I did. I compared them to the Gleam constructs in Free Realms, and they are very similar. There is a difference between them, and she's going to explain it here. But you can also romance the golem. Not going to lie, that's a weird one, but hey, you know, I can't judge. You know, whoever wants to romance a golem, go for it. But they dropped a little, they were like, hey, you want to romance Einar? He likes shiny pebbles. Write it down. Listen, if you want to romance the golem, just get him shiny pebbles, okay? They've mentioned that in the stream, but let's keep going.
Basically robots made by the ancient humans, but they've been kind of hanging around Palia for thousands of years. And they were all programmed with something called the oneness. And that's like the one thing in the world that makes them happy. So Einar.
So the way they describe the oneness, and I don't know if this is like a direct like tie-in, but like it's almost like how monks live, like they like living at peace basically. It's just like they like things to be simple and just they're very very free spirited, I guess. You know, they're peaceful. They're like, peace, dude. But yeah, I think that's the oneness described in a way, like they're very spiritual, I guess.
Loves to fish. Yeah,
also, I just want to mention Olivia is super passionate about this game and its story. Like she's the writer for, so she's the writer for the game. I think Aiden to the right of Olivia is the game director, I believe, and Matthew, I think, I'm not going to remember, but those are the two I know of so far. I believe Trisha is the host. I've kind of almost memorized this because I read the description earlier, but yeah, she seems super passionate about just the lore and story of Palia, which I super appreciate. It's super cool. But anyway, let's keep going.
Another Galder who loves to like take care of people. She used to be a nanny back in the day, so she's very caring, very loving. And we have a lot of fun Galder characters.
So the Galder follow their programming very closely, even though they were programmed thousands of years prior.
It has become a little bit disconnected. So like if there was a Galder who wanted to, or who was made to build houses, now they might say like stack rocks.